What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. And today, it's been a while, but we're coming at you from the mobile command center. I'm making some changes at my home studio, I guess you can call it, and it wasn't quite ready for me to make a video in there. So I kind of just want to do one on the fly for you guys and just go over what transpired over the course of last weekend with the set 14 ban list. Now, I'm not going to go over everything in detail. I'm sure you guys have been bombarded with ban list videos and did they get it right, did they get it wrong, so on and so forth. I think there's a fair consensus. This ban list is 50-50. There are people in the community who agree with things. There are people in the community who disagree with things, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good to have different opinions in the community, because if everybody was on the same page, there'd be no variety. So if there's anything that I want to put in as my 2 cents, is just roll with it. Just, adapt, make a couple changes, and, just keep enjoying the game. I mean, yeah, Bandai did drop the ball on a couple of things, which I'll get into some of my opinions, not in too much detail, but it is what it is. I mean, to me, it was a very save face ban list, if that makes any sense. I feel like there was a lot of, we're doing this to save face kind of thing, because there was a lot of, outcry in the community, which is fine. I'm glad Bandai does listen to the community. But if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it, in my opinion. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is Beerus Godly Majesty. I don't think that card needed to get banned. I mean, I can understand them wanting to calm down the free play, but all you hit was Beerus. And I guess you can make the conversation for Bardock the Resolute being brought down to 1 and Pan being banned. Sure, yes, Pan and Sin Shenron makes sense. But if you're going to ban cards because you're trying to scale back the free playability, you should have looked at Belmod. You should have looked at General Tao. You should have looked at the other come into play cards that are color locked, what is it? Power of Legends Goku, Poutine, Gravy, even though nobody plays it. I know that those cards are different and they're utilizing different strategies, but if the whole overall, arcing argument is that you want to slow down free play, you should address it as a whole. So that's my first, opinion, is that it was kind of half-assed. If you're gonna slow down free play, then you need to slow it down in all case and purposes. Now, I guess you could make the argument that, Beerus allows you to turn a -1 into a +1, sure, but then again, Belmod kind of does the same thing. Yeah, you do have to sack, 3 of your bodies on board, but you're getting a 20k battle card that's a blocker and also kill something on entry. So with Tau, you're also getting a unique card, so you can't keep spamming the board with it, sure, but you're getting a 15k critical for the turn. And, red kind of poops out guys. It's not that hard for red, to go low to the ground and poop out a whole bunch of guys. So I think if you're going to address certain concerns in the community, you need to do it on a whole. And with that being said, the Mecha Frieza issue, I mean, they did it a couple of ban lists ago with Reboot Gohan, where they decided to ban Reboot Gohan in a best of 3. And now he just ended up on a chopping block. So are they going to come revisit this in a couple of months' time now and say that they made the mistake with Mecha Frieza not banning it in the first place, just kind of doing it half-assed? Who knows? I mean, Gohan should have been banned outright from the start. He probably shouldn't have been allowed in best of 3 gameplay either. For those who thought that he wasn't going to be as good in best of 3, joke's on you. He still was pretty successful. He did have a couple of topping appearances in the webcam regionals and stuff like that. So if there's a glaring problem in the community, I think Bandai should just, adopt the philosophy of just getting rid of it as opposed to trying to save face. Yes, you can make the argument that Mecha Frieza is a rebooted leader. They tried and failed the first time, so they wanted to make sure that they got it right the second time, and unfortunately they didn't. And it's okay to make mistakes. You have to learn from those mistakes so that they don't keep being repeated. But Bandai is definitely not learning from their mistake this time. And I guarantee you in a couple of months' time after Set 14 release, when the meta shakes up or when the meta's finalized with that new release, Mecha's still going to be a top-tier contender. It's probably going to be the best yellow leader still, even though it is slowed down a little bit, with the loss of... U9 assemble and being able to play the chapel from the deck, sure, but there's a lot of other things that Mecha Frieza could do. And my biggest issue is that they got rid of cards that people used in Mecha Frieza, but they weren't originally designed to be used in Mecha Frieza. Now, if U9 Assemble was a Mecha Frieza card, sure, ban it, get rid of it, whatever, because it's facilitating a toxic environment or a toxic gameplay strategy, sure. But U9 Assemble was created way, for the support of U9 as opposed to Mecha Frieza. Mecha Frieza is just one of those guys that he generically can abuse the card. So, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. I feel like the ban list is very 50-50. If you want to check out ban list discussion videos, if you haven't already, Joey from Crossword TCG and Melvin from Sensu Pop, they hit everything right on the head. I couldn't emphasize what they're saying enough. I agree with what Melvin said wholeheartedly, 100%. And as well as Joey, I feel like it's kind of like half-assed and watered down, where there was plenty of problems they could have addressed and they decided not to. So we'll see how that pans out. But moving forward, taking this adjustment that we have to now, put into our strategies and what we want to do with the game, it creates a slight little obstacle. You just kind of have to build differently, tweak a couple things here and there. I don't think anything really died except for maybe Invoker. I know there's a lot of complaints about Invoker dying, but who knows? Maybe you'll get some Invoker support. There is a Universe 7 archetype that's coming out in set 14 with red, so maybe you'll get some Invoker support in there. Who knows, right? I mean, I think that, when a new ban list comes out, and I know it's tough coming from me because none of the cards that I play really got affected. So, I mean, I play Future Gohan and it's whatever. But I know there are certain people in the community who feel like, their decks got hit, or, their decks are now neutered, or their decks are not as powerful as they were. And all of that can fairly be true, right? But if you enjoy playing the game, if you enjoy the core mechanics, if you enjoy the IP, if you enjoy getting together with buddies and, playing kitchen table style or playing super sweaty, let it be that for you. Just make a couple of adjustments here and there. Like, yes, I understand King Piccolo got hurt really bad with Drum being limited to 1. I don't agree with that. I think it should have gotten the unique tag over anything. I know Drum is a very powerful card in that specific archetype, but like Joey said in his video, they need to have X amount of Demon Clans in that deck for it to be consistent, and you're kind of just hindering the deck's playability as opposed to, dealing with a degenerate strategy. You could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone by putting the unique tag on it, because the deck is still allowed to be played. It's just not allowed to spam them out as much as possible. I think that would have been a better fix. But I don't think, even though it's slowed down a little bit, I don't think Demon King Piccolo is unplayable without Drum. Like, yeah, it sucks that it's 3 less Demon Clans you're going to be able to see in your deck, but there are other ways of getting them with like Attack of the Demon Clan and just being able to sequence properly. Shout out to Nate, one of the players at my locals. He plays that deck with incredible skill and he knows the ins and outs of it. So I know he's hurting right now, but I'm sure he's going to get back to the drawing board and, find a substitution for it and just keep it rolling unless there's a different deck that he wants to play. But I don't think it killed it outright to where it's like, oh, let me throw my hands up in the air and just not play the game anymore. Sure, I know, at first glance, when something is first released, it could feel that way. But all in all, Bandai really does do, or they try to do a really good job in addressing issues with the community to make sure their game survives. The errata to Cell X is a perfect example. That card is super degenerate, and the ability to get it out on turn 2 in Sin Shenron is ridiculous. So putting an errata on it for getting quad strike on 5 energy doesn't make it dead. I mean, you're still ripping 3 cards out of their hand when you come out, which is huge. But, it's a kill turn 5. So with that and the combination of their set design philosophy with Cross Spirits, you can definitely see them kind of want to pull the curtain back a little bit and just kind of slow the game down, which I think, I think we as a community are ready for. maybe not right away, but I think we're ready for the game to slow down a little bit. You know, there's a lot of decks that can kill super early, you know, turn 2, turn 3. So you're kind of mitigating that pressure. You're kind of letting people like set up and do their things. And the cross spirit mechanic or the spirit boost mechanic is going to lean heavier on a more, you know, later mid-game strategy. It's not going to be something that you just blow your wad completely super early and then you can't do anything to follow it up. So if there's anything that comes out of this ban list, I think it's just an opportunity for us to adapt, an opportunity for us to really look at what we're building and how we're trying to build it and just make an adjustment. That's the whole challenge. That's the, excuse me. That's, in my opinion, what makes deck building fun, is finding new and creative ways to implement your strategy. So for those of you who are panicking, I understand, but please don't. You know, there's still new cards coming out, and the whole purpose of a ban list is to make sure that the game is taking on a healthier form. Not that they got it 100% right, but you can kind of see them taking steps because they want to reduce the degeneracy with certain plays or whatnot and kind of slow the game down. So, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm definitely up to open this up for discussion. I didn't want to go over everything, you know, that in the ban list because it's already been done, but I kind of wanted to get my 2 cents out there because I think it's important to approach it as an obstacle, as a hurdle instead of, you know, a roadblock, something that's going to completely stop you or deter you from playing the game. So, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything No Counters, No Combos. We really do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Be there or be square.